All right, in this video, I'm continuing on a 30-day experiment that I'm doing here on YouTube with one of its features I discovered. So under content in my YouTube studio, right next to videos to the left, we see this inspiration tab. And this really cool feature that I discovered you have to pay for and other tools like vidIQ. So it looks like YouTube created their own, so that's cool. So I wanted to try it out just as a test to see how how it worked, and if these ideas and suggestions recommends for my time, and what would be best for like getting click-through rates and engagements, get organic traction a little more rapidly for my channel. And if that worked, obviously going to continue that. So I think this is a really cool feature. And if you like these ideas, you can click more like this, or you can click show more. And if you want to save some of these, you can click this little save button. So I've gone ahead and saved a few. I've already made several videos. Like I said, this is the next one in the list. And so, just to give you some context about how I'm able to speak confidently about this information, I've been doing affiliate marketing and SEO for about 20 years. So, which sounds crazy to say at this point because I'm still feel super young, but I've been in the game for a long time. I've made millions of dollars online with affiliate SEO. I've been doing it full time since 2017. I've taught a course since 2017 as well, my process. And so that's where this, information comes from. I'm not just like a nobody who doesn't know what he's talking about. I've actually done all the stuff I'm talking to you about. And outside of my course, I just gathered a lot of additional knowledge along the way through different courses, different masterminds and stuff. So you learn a lot of things along the way. So this is the one that I'm on here. So stop using WordPress for affiliate sites. And yeah, just a little more about this information here. This is a breakdown of why YouTube thinks this is a good idea for your channel. These are some related videos that have high engagement. That's interesting. I might check that out, actually. So I've never heard of that tool, Flat Site. We'll look it up right now. Let's see. Maybe that's the name of a tool. Not sure. Never heard of it, but we can check it out. And then once we're here, so we got title suggestion, description suggestion, and we click develop idea. And it actually is going to give us a bunch of ideas for hooks, some outline, if we literally want to script this out, the outline that it gives us, and then some thumbnail ideas, and then that we can rotate between, which I don't know why that's not loading. I'll try to load that again. And then we've got some title suggestions that we can rotate between using YouTube's internal A/B split testing. So I'm not sure why these are not loading. I click show more and then download those, and then there we go. And then have to rotate between them, and based on the traffic it gets to these videos, it will auto select the thumbnail and the title combination that works best for you. So I was just kind of reading this and kind of confused. So these are based on some Kajabi reviews that I did. So I was trying to make sense of that title based on this title. So it was like, stop using WordPress for affiliate sites and move to static site generator. So I guess technically Kajabi is a static site, but it's not what I would think of when I think of static sites. But let's click on this review here and just see what this flat site, static site, I've never heard of that. So let's see if they have a link, if this has a link. Join flat site. So never heard of that. So he's got like a little bit.ly link, WordPress static site generator. So it actually is, let's see, uh-oh. I guess his little link's not working. So it looks like it's flat WordPress, create or convert to a, when was this video? 2021. Easy site on flat site. It may not even be for unhackable fastness. It may not even be around anymore. You could just type in like maybe best flat site. See what there? I usually say like HTML website, but yeah, they do load faster. Let's see. I'm just trying to see. Flat site. Let's see if this is even. Flat site. Manage unlimited WordPress static sites. Maybe it is, yeah, flat site. Maybe it is, maybe it doesn't exist anymore. We shall see. Never heard of this tool, but it sounds cool. Let's see. Flatsite.com. Yeah, it's got a cool name, but maybe it doesn't exist. Oh, I will give some other suggestions then. There's one called Dash Next that I use that I like. It's got a bunch of different tools, but it has a website builder. Let's see. You can't really tell from the website itself, but it has a website feature, which I really like their tool. You could do Blogger. Blogger doesn't have a lot of plugins. I know it's kind of ugly. I would just at best HTML website builder, something like that. Because I started out with HTML a long time ago, and then I switched to WordPress, but I really don't like WordPress now just because I don't want to deal with themes and plugins. I guess you could do like Webflow or Wix are super popular ones. I was trying to pick like a different one, but yeah, kind of based on my method. Tell you more about in a minute. There's a cool tool called Mass Page. Is it Mass Page Builder? Mass Page Creator that does what I teach in my process, but talks about mass page sites, but this one creates HTML pages. So really cool. I would recommend this for building massive pages very quickly. It's very inexpensive. So this is what my method is all about. Everybody's got like a different process when it comes to making websites and creating affiliate websites, affiliate SEO. But I this is a great solution. I guess another one would be like Squarespace. It started out as a website builder. Now it does a whole bunch of other things. So Squarespace would be another cool one that I would use especially if I was like more concentrating on blogging and becoming like an authority blogger where I didn't have to worry about hosting and servers and all this technical stuff. I would go with something like Squarespace personally. So those are a couple of suggestions in regards to WordPress sites and moving to a little bit more of a static site that's built for speed and like the future and stuff like that. And as you don't have to worry about these tools, like they're going to be fast and built for the changing infrastructure of the internet and stuff. So you don't have to worry about all the technical stuff. Like that's the thing with WordPress. You almost have to over time become like a technical person. And I don't think that's why most people start websites. They don't want to be some kind of like nerd. They just want to publish content and ideally make money with those, especially if you're watching this video. You probably want to start a website and produce content in order to make money so you can produce income for yourself. But if you want to learn more about my process, this is, I've been doing affiliate SEO for 20 years and I've been doing it full time and making over 6 figures a year from it since 2017, so almost a decade. So this is my process. It's SEOaffiliatedomination.com. You can learn more about it by clicking this presentation, click that button, and it'll tell you more about our process. Decide whether or not it's right for you. It's something that's simple, scalable, sustainable. It's worked for years, long before AI. It still works today, even better with AI. It's easier. It's way faster with AI. I have a ton of testimonials. Hundreds of people have been through the course. So, it's not just I'm not the only one that can get results with the process. It works with any product or service. These are just a few popular networks that you may be familiar with. So, if you don't already have a process that's been proven and you can get results with consistently, then I would recommend checking out my process because it works. So if you're spending your time watching other people succeed on YouTube and going in 1,000 different directions, watching different strategies and methods. Like this is why I created this, so I can stop going in 1,000 different directions, because I got tired of that. Even within SEO, there's 1,000 different tools and stuff, and I just got tired of that. I just want to have one recipe that I repeat over and over and over again, and that it's not going to like become outdated. It's rooted, this process is rooted in the fundamentals of SEO. So it's not, those things haven't changed since the beginning of the internet. So it gives me a lot of peace and calm. And so if that sounds like something that is going to be like in alignment with who you are and what you're looking for, then I would highly recommend checking this out. And for most people, a couple $1,000 a month, 6 figures and beyond per year is enough potential to live like a comfortable life. I'm not saying that you're going to make that, but most people are going to make multiple 5 figures in the first year. Many people within 12 months or less are on their way to getting to that 5 figures per month, which means like moving forward, if that continues, they will have hit, their first 6 figures in about like a year and a half to 2 years. And then, once you have that, once you've done that, you've also gotten a lot more experience and confidence, and you can just continue to do that year in and year out. So that's kind of the progression of what you could expect if you took this seriously. And a lot of my success stories come from people who are brand new to making money in SEO. And so you don't have to already be an expert or some technical person to get results with this process. You just have to follow the recipe that I lay out inside. So hopefully you got some value out of this video. Hopefully you learned something. WordPress has been a great solution for a long time. I just kind of moved away from it personally, but that's just me. And, I'm moving more towards these, in the beginning, I took a lot of pride in like being able to like tweak and manage my own stuff. Like, no, like I'm too good for solutions like the Squarespaces are for people that don't know how to like install WordPress and stuff. And like now I've moved to the other side where it's like, man, let somebody else take care of all the technical stuff. I don't want to be in charge of that. I just want to be on the creative side and have fun and like talk about and produce content about what I want, and then make money and like not worry about all the technical stuff. So yeah, hopefully got some value out of this video. Hopefully you learned something, and we're going to see relatively soon here how well this test is going to work out. And if you have a YouTube channel, you can start using this feature as well, this inspiration tab. And yeah, hopefully this has been Greg Jeffries. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.